Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be doing a reading on the Aries new moon and solar eclipse, which is happening this Monday, April 8th, 2024, and it will be peaking at 2:20 p.m. Eastern time. So we're going to be getting all into the, what patterns are we breaking, what new cycle is beginning, and then some guidance. But first, I want to talk a little bit of the background for the eclipse and, just do my little spiel. So if you're new here, I usually like to mention the previous full or new moon in the current moon sign. That usually helps us understand how this moon is personally affecting us, so you can see the themes that have been reoccurring. So the last Aries full moon was September 29th, 2023. And the last Aries new moon was March 21st, 2023. So last year it was on the spring equinox, and I believe that was also the first eclipse in this Aries Libra eclipse, 111 on the clock there. So I think so. And the North and South node are also relevant to this equation because the eclipses are typically in the sign of the current North node and South node. And, they create big themes for us, where we're moving as a generation, a society, whatnot. So the Aries North Node started July 18th, 2023, and will be going until January 11th, 2025. I mentioned all of these dates so that if you want to, look back in your journals or look back in your camera roll, that's a good way to figure out what was going on in those times, to see if anything has been reoccurring, if there have been any certain challenges or just certain cycles that maybe you have been going through. Because, we have the new moon to the full moon cycle, but we also have longer cycles for bigger things in our lives. So that's that. And about eclipses in general. So the difference between a normal new moon and a solar eclipse is that eclipses are said to be more transformative times. So a new moon would be like a new beginning. The moon is dark, and we're kind of meditating. It's like a rest mode, unlike the full moon where the energy is high and things are coming to light. They may be more confusing or chaotic. The new moon is normally a bit more subtle in that kind of way, and we're more introspective and planting new seeds for the new cycle. But with an eclipse, the time is still pretty chaotic, kind of like a full moon, but it is said to be transformative. It's a great time for meditation. It's a good time to maybe start some big cycles in your life, like if you want to quit smoking or anything like that. It's a time for change and opportunity. And some people even kind of see this time as portals, in the sense of having an easier time connecting to spirit guides and higher dimensions. I don't know what your beliefs are, so take that as you will. Some people don't recommend manifesting with an eclipse. I say to each their own. I am not personally manifesting with this eclipse. It just feels too chaotic. We have Mercury retrograde in the same sign, so I'm just going to see what comes up for me in my own time, and then we're going to look at, like I said, the cycles and patterns that we're working through as a collective in this reading. So that's all that. Let me give my quick little intro to myself, and then we will hop right into a reading. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Marie. I am an intuitive tarot reader. I've been reading tarot for, I believe, 4 or 5 years now, and doing my own witchcraft journey. I am also an artist of multiple forms. I am a Gendai Reiki practitioner. Although I don't do Reiki on people, I put Reiki into my products, such as my bracelets and my baths. I make these homemade journals. I have one of every zodiac sign that have different pages and all kinds of fun stuff like that, stickers, whatever. I also do personal tarot readings through my website. If you're interested in that, it's in the description below. And yeah, last but not least, I am a dreaming witch. So we're going to get right into the reading. All right, so hopping right into this reading, we are going to be looking at some different questions than I usually do for the new moon. We are going to be looking at what patterns are we breaking as a collective, what new cycle is beginning as a collective, and some guidance for these energies. And if I feel like it, I might pull from my cosmic oracle deck to get some themes and other energies. I like that deck a lot, so it might come out. So yeah, we're gonna hop into that. If you want a little bit more information, also I did do a Mercury retrograde reading just before this one that might tie into this a little bit. So we're gonna get right into it. All right, what patterns are we breaking as a collective? What patterns are we breaking in the collective? I'm sorry, you can't really see me shuffle too much. I'm really tall. I'd have to put the camera on the other side of the room to get me and the cards. Although I am experimenting with some top-down view like I did with the Mercury retrograde reading so you can see the cards more. So, what patterns are we breaking as a collective? What patterns are we breaking as a collective? Right, what patterns are we breaking as a collective? All right, we got the Ace of Wands reversed, and I was hearing like pushing, running forward. We have the Seven of Cups reversed at the bottom, and this is kind of tying into, I think, the Mercury retrograde reading. I think one of the patterns so far is, you know, being too pushy, making too many impulsive decisions, impulsive jumps. I'm going to try to move the cards a little closer. Too many quick decisions that aren't as fulfilling as we expect them to be. Because that's very Aries, isn't it? You know, taking a quick jump because it's exciting in the moment. And then the excitement wears off. And what do? What else can we say about the patterns we are breaking in the collective? For some people, though, I see it as being too passive. So there's two sides to the extreme. You know, there's the people that are too quick to just jump on any idea without thinking it through. And then there are the people that don't jump on any of their ideas ever because they're worried about how it'll play out. It's not good to be on either side of the extreme. So what else can we say about the patterns we're breaking? Yeah, all right, we got the Ace of Cups right next to the Ace of Wands there. This one's upright though. So getting our emotions too tied up and not taking it serious enough. Not taking the energy and passion we have and going somewhere with it. You know, I've got this page of swords that actually came up in the Mercury retrograde reading as well. And the energy with that was that things feel very floaty. Like you might have all these ideas, you have all this creative energy, all this passionate energy that's being kind of stifled. And what are you doing with it? Are you just like sitting around thinking about it and not bringing it down to earth, not grounding it, being worried about how it's going to play out? Let's get one more for what patterns we are breaking. There's a lot of resistant energy. Definitely, I feel like the group I'm tapping into more here are the people that are more scared to do things than they are being hasty. One more for what patterns we are breaking in the collective. All right, we got that Nine of Wands came back. So definitely a lot of anxious energy, a lot of worrying how it's going to play out, worrying who you can trust, worrying about your own boundaries, if you're going to be able to uphold them, which is valid. I mean, it's hard to hold boundaries. So we got the reverse Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. And what I see here is definitely that hesitation. It's like you have so many ideas, you have so much inspiration, but you can't trust yourself with it. Like, you don't really know if you're going to be able to do anything with it, and you're not really putting any effort into it, if that's, if that makes sense. So, and maybe some boundaries are a bit too rigid for some of you, or some of you are very secretive and don't want any help. You want to be the do-it-all person. You just want to be super independent on your own. But some of these ideas are so big that you're going to need help. Like, they're great ideas, but they're very hard to execute on your own. And it might need you to compromise some of your anxiety and your boundaries, 5 of 5 on the clock there, so that you can find a way to make it work, where you can get help from people without having to, do it all on your own. Because what comes after the Nine of Wands is the Ten of Wands, who's carrying all those sticks and is getting slugged down by all the pressure, all the responsibility. So this is the time to figure out where you can navigate that, delegate some of that, who you can trust to help fuel your passion, who can be an encouragement to you. That might be the only help you really need, is someone to give you a pep talk. You don't have to trust people to do the work for you, but maybe you need some people to check in with you to make sure that you're staying inspired. All right. Anything else we can say about these patterns we're breaking? Anything else we can say about the patterns we're breaking here? Like, I definitely feel like the energy is like you need a support group. And I do feel like community has been a big theme that's been coming up in collective readings for a little bit. And it makes sense with the Aries South Node, or Aries North Node, Libra South Node. Because the Aries North Node is pushing us to be more independent, more, energetic, more go-getter. But that Libra South Node can't be abandoned. We can't abandon our need for other people and community. All right, what else can we add here? Yeah, all right, we have the Magician reverse. So there's definitely a lack of confidence that is being worked through here. And we have the Queen of Swords down here. A need to get the full picture before you commit. Sometimes that's not always doable. Sometimes we need to work with what we have. But you can get your stuff in a row as much as you can. But with this Magician reversed here, I'm thinking that it's more so just a lack of confidence. I'm thinking that this is very much a, can I do this? Do I have the power? Am I going to be able to make the money I need to do this? Am I going to be able to stay committed enough to do, this is a manifestation card in reverse. So I feel like there's just a doubt in things manifesting the way you want them to. And I do think that calling on people to support you, and we have Justice here, and just expecting things to, and Justice with the Queen of Swords here, expecting things to balance out. And this is Libra energy with the Justice card, and finding the truth. Both of these cards have an element of finding the truth. And truth can mean, what is true to you, what is truly calling you, truth about a situation. If, someone made a promise and they're not keeping it, figuring out the truth there and weighing your options. Being an impartial judge is the other thing. You're getting weighed down by these critical thoughts and these critical views of yourself, but are you being biased? Are you, are you taking a moment to take a step back from yourself and then view this with an objective perspective? Because with an objective perspective, it's probably not as bad as you think it is. And yeah, all right, so that is that for the patterns we're breaking that self-doubt, breaking that Mercury retrograde got me stuttering like crazy, breaking, you know, indecision, breaking our self-doubt, breaking our hesitancy to move forward, our sitting on our ideas, all of that. So let's move into what new cycle is beginning in the collective. What new cycle is beginning with this Aries solar eclipse and new moon energy? I feel like there are a lot of creative people out there that have been sitting on their creative talents, worried about how they'll be received. And I'm here to tell you, go for it. I'm having trouble putting myself out there, and I'm still doing it, and it's really hard. So this is my encouragement to you to do it. So what new cycle is beginning in the collective? What new cycle are we moving into with this Aries new moon energy? What new cycle are we entering with this Aries new moon energy? Six of Cups. All right. That, I think, comes back to looking at things that made you happy in your childhood, connecting with people who maybe you've lost touch with that aren't people that you purposely lost touch with, you know, connecting to your roots, your, you know, like what has inspired you throughout your life, I think, is a big thing here. Coming back to the things that bring your inner child joy. Because maybe you're creative and you don't know it. Maybe you don't know what you like to do. Like, creative is not just physical art and whatnot. There's many ways to be creative. You can be creative in a scientific way, even. But coming back to the things that brought you joy as a child, and, you know, not getting hung up in a nostalgic, oh, I wish I could go back kind of way, but thinking about the ways you can bring these energies forward. And tending to the wounds that maybe have kept you from doing these things. There may be some sprinkles of things you're going to find, like, realize about your childhood that maybe weren't the greatest. Maybe the ways that friends or family stifled your passion, and just kind of tending to that, reminding yourself that, you know, they were doing the best they could with what they knew, with what they learned, and you don't need to subscribe to that narrative anymore. All right, what was that? The Three of Pentacles reversed. I think that comes back to this fear of working with people, this fear of your opinion not being valued, which could be one of those inner wounds that some of us have. Is there was someone in our life that was very dominating and didn't take you into consideration at all, didn't tell you how much your opinion and your insight was worth. And I'm here to tell you that your opinion and your insight are worth something, and you need to find the right group to, you know, take that. What else are we moving into here? This Aries new moon. Like I said, like that community feeling, finding the right communities. Yes, Aries North Node, Aries energy, very independent, but that Libra on the other side of the axis wants to connect with people. Even, like I said, if you're not working with someone where you're delegating responsibilities, you're working with someone where you're encouraging each other, you're boosting each other up, you're giving each other just like little tips here and there, like, oh, I really like how you did that, I would like to see more of that, or, you know, try to be nicer to people. I don't know why that came out, but I think we all need a bigger dosage of people being nicer to us and us being nicer to other people. It's very easy these days to get in our own bubble. All right, one more for what cycle is beginning. My cat is trying to climb the curtains. I can't stand him sometimes. All right, what new cycle are we moving into here? Yeah, Page of Cups reversed, and we got the Two of Cups on the bottom. More of that connection, more of that creative energy, more of that emotional connection energy. And when this Page of Cups reversed here, I think we are moving into getting out of our shy zone. So we have the Six of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. Three of Pentacles and the Page of Cups are reversed, and I think that they're reversed because we are too closed off. We are not open to receiving any kind of emotional connection from people. Like, I think this is on the bottom because this is what we want. We want this connection with somebody, but we're not open to receiving it. We're not trusting people to do what they say they're going to do. We're not trusting people to not hurt us. We're not trusting people to not lie to us. And we got this Two of Wands here. We're very much standing at the door like, I'm not going to come any closer to you. You can come to me, but we got to meet people halfway. Which I think is the message here, is meeting some people halfway. You know, taking this inspiration and ideas and, you know, your feelings basically, and starting to be a little more giving with them. The Six of Cups is also a giving card. So starting to be a little more generous with your energy. And that doesn't mean you need to go telling people you love them and confessing your feelings. But like I said, being more kind, I think, is the theme here. Is like being nicer. You know, giving a compliment to the person at the grocery store. Make their day. Maybe someone will return the favor, give you a compliment, make your day. And just passing it along, you know, passing kindness along starts a cycle of more people doing that. So I think that is the message there. I want to get one from the Oracle for the new cycle beginning. What new cycle is beginning in the collective? What new cycle is beginning in the collective? Free spirit. All right. And you see that she's very open. She's letting her spirit be seen, letting herself be seen, letting that true self, authentic self be out there, open to judgment. And again, you don't need to hop right into it. It takes time. It takes practice. It takes building your confidence. It takes connecting with the right people. Walk your truth. Surrender. Gratitude. I think all of these are relevant into where we're moving. Need to be moving into an area where you're able to be yourself, where you're able to shine, where you're able to be this free spirit and put yourself out there. And the people that are going to be assholes, they're just going to be assholes. Unfortunately, they're going to be there whether you do this or not. So are you going to keep yourself hidden in fear, even though it's not going to make any difference to the people in the world? So that's that. That is also a 13, which adds up to 4, which is kind of a stability kind of number. And I think like this is a groundwork time. Like those dates that I gave you at the beginning of the video of the previous full moons, new moons, and the eclipses. We are in a time of big cycles, I feel like. And I think that the things happening around this time of the year are going to really make a difference for what's happening 6 months from now. Starting around, I think, August. I don't know why. It feels like the end of the summer is where things are going to start picking up again. And then into like the next eclipses, which will be in October and whatnot. So just keeping that in mind, that the things the seeds you're planting now are going to take time to bloom. But if you don't plant them now, are you ever going to plant them? So that is that. I think I'm just going to wrap it up real quick with a quick guidance card. What guidance does Spirit have for us? And then we'll put that there. What guidance does Spirit have for moving through these energies for the collective? What guidance does Spirit have for us moving through these energies? Right, what guidance? The Five of Cups. All right, we've got a lot of Cups energy here. And with the Five of Cups, you see, you know, he's crying over these 3 spilled cups, and then there are the 2 cups that are still okay in the background. Go after your 2 cups that are still okay. It's time to let these spilled cups go. You can grieve them. You know, I think it's important that you do grieve it, that you do feel those feelings, but it's time to start slowly turning your way towards these other 2 cups. What is coming towards you? And to stop fighting yourself. You know, the parts of you that want to be moving forward. I think that brings us all the way back to the beginning of this reading. The parts of you that want to be moving forward but are being held back. It's time to stop fighting that and to start moving forward. We even got the 8 of Cups right after that. It is definitely time to walk forward. Leaving things behind, leaving the things that don't serve you behind, moving towards the things that do serve you. That might mean you're leaving behind situations, relationships, friendships, jobs, and as I always say, that does not mean you need to hop straight into it. It is time to start planting the seeds. Do you even know where you want to be 6 months from now? Do you know what you want to be doing 6 months from now? What about a year from now? What about a year and a half from now? Are you getting any closer to those goals right now? And that's a call out for you, for me, for all of us. Because I'm sure that we all have things that we've been trying to achieve for years and just keep sitting on. It is time to move forward. It is time to stop that internal conflict. It is time to face those wounds that are holding you back, that self-esteem that is holding you back. And it's time to let it go. It's time to let the people that aren't supportive go. It's time to let the situations that aren't supportive go. And move towards the people that are supportive, the groups that are supportive. You know, start small. You know, you don't have to meet someone and tell them your whole life story. Just try to connect over things that you both like. You know, whatever it is you're trying to create for your life. And we got the 9 of Cups. See, we got like all the cup cards coming out here. This is definitely an emotional investment. And we got a lot of Pisces energy going on in the sky. We got the 8 of Pentacles here. You got to work for it. You got to work for this 9 of Cups. You want your wishes to come true. Manifestation is partially about believing and, you know, doing the woo-woo work. And then the other part of it is doing the real work. You know, it's kind of hard to manifest a drastically different life without doing absolutely anything about it. Not saying it can't happen. Miracles happen. But most of the time, it involves some kind of work. Some small changes you make. Maybe you smoke less. Maybe you interact with people that upset you less. If you don't cut them off, boundaries, you know, have a limit. And yeah, then we will move towards this 9 of Cups, wishes fulfilled card, you know, the things that make us happy. And gratitude is always important along the journey. Make sure that you are grateful for the things that you do, you know, have, the experiences that you have, the earth, the planet. Be grateful for as much as you can be grateful for, you know. If you got to start small and just be grateful that you have a soft bed, start there. If you're just going to be grateful that, you know, it was a nice day out, start there. And I think I'm going to leave that there. I don't think there's much more to say in regards to this. Yeah, it's definitely a transformative time. The transformation card came out with the Mercury retrograde reading. I do recommend watching that reading if you want a little more insight to all this, because the Mercury retrograde is also happening in Aries, which is rolled by a Mars and Pisces energy. So it's a lot of chaotic, confusing energy, to be honest. And now is the time to start taking all of that intuitive hits, all that floaty energy, bringing it down. Take some deep breaths, you know, touch grass, like for real, like not as a joke, like actually touch some grass. Be outside, feel the air, whatever works for you. I'm gonna leave that there, and I hope you all have a great Aries new moon and solar eclipse, and I hope to see you in the next reading.